Hey guys, this is Bharat and welcome to Bharat's Kitchen with dhaba style paneer. Now I've already told you what dhaba style actually is in my chicken curry recipe, but for my vegetarian viewers, dhaba style is basically no use of mixer grinders or refrigerators. As electricity wasn't that easily available earlier, people used more whole spices, cooked the curry very well so that it doesn't go bad even when kept out, and there was no use of purees and to break down the sugars in the onion. More acidic stuff like curd was added. For more details, you can definitely look into my tomato puree recipe and my brown onions recipe. But for now, let's begin with it. So first, we're gonna finely chop some onions, and you need to chop them as fine as possible so that they break down easily while cooking. Next, we're gonna need some strained curd, and trust me, curd is the key here to bring out that flavor. Further comes in some tomatoes, and rather chopping these, I'm gonna grate the tomatoes here. And grating has two benefits. First, you can easily get rid of the skin, which definitely has no purpose. And second, you get that puree-like effect. See how a good chef can easily create shortcuts. Now for the whole spices, we're going to use some readily available ones. So here I'm using some black peppercorns, some green cardamom, some dalchini, also add some cloves, few dried chilies. You can use green chili here as well, one bay leaf and a black cardamom. That's it. And in case of ground spices, I'm using some coriander powder, some roasted cumin or jeera powder, and as I want that reddish tone for my curry, I'm using some Kashmiri red chili powder. Also add some spicy red chili powder, and finally my secret ingredient, which is some roasted gram flour. If you're wondering why gram flour, well, you see, in pastas or a roux, maida is added for thickness. In Chinese dishes, potato starch or cornstarch is added. The same way we Indians add gram flour. Anyways, moving on with the recipe. Since we're working on this assumption that in earlier times, dhaba didn't have electricity, which made it hard to store the paneer. So after cutting the paneer into big cubes, they used to lightly fry the paneer and then store it in some salted water. Now this extends the life of the paneer, and yes, you can completely skip this step and use the paneer cubes as it is in the gravy, as definitely the times have changed. Alright, time to cook. So first, we're gonna dry roast our whole spices on a low flame just to give them that roasted effect. And when you start to smell the aroma of the spices, add some desi ghee. Now when the whole spices start to sizzle, add onions, and as I told you in my previous dhaba style recipe, you need to cook the onions very well. That is until they are golden brown. Okay, when the onions are about 80% cooked, add some turmeric powder and some ginger garlic paste and cook till well done. So remember, these caramelized onions will provide that sugary note. So at this point, add the strained yogurt and again you need to cook it very well. Initially you'll notice the yogurt will start to lose moisture, but after about 5 minutes of cooking on a low flame, you'll notice the yogurt will start to thicken and also stick to the bottom. And definitely the oil will start to separate. So at this point, add our grated tomatoes and make sure you add some salt as well. And again, cook everything very well or until the oil starts to separate. So the crux of dhaba style cooking is basically to cook everything properly. Now after 5 minutes of cooking, you will notice that the onions would have broken down and the tomatoes would have merged with the yogurt. So add our ground spice mix here and cook for about a minute or so. Finally, add some water, make sure it comes to a boil and then add the paneer cubes. Now cover it with a lid or in my case a plate and let it cook for about 5 to 7 minutes on a very low flame. And then you'll get this. But wait, the recipe isn't over yet. You need to finish the curry off with a sprinkle of garam masala, some kasuri methi, and definitely some butter to provide that smoothness. This looks amazing, isn't it? And you can see that the paneer is soft as well. So there you go guys, how to make dhaba style paneer. As always, you'll find all the list of ingredients and their measurements on my website. And if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up, it helps me out a lot. Until then, I'll see you all next time.